reviews. We talked about this movie called Unlocked. Pretty dope. Second hour, we're gonna keep on continue on. I'm your co-host Bosco from the Bronx. That's my host in the building. Coco's in the house. What's up, yo?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
I think she got a delayed reaction. Must be the dial-up, you know. Anyway, she got that 56K.
I did not just spoke to you. You can't see me?
Yeah. It just took you. Yeah, it just took you like 10 seconds to respond.
I'm sorry.
So, nah, you good. But anyway,
yep.
The second hour, we're gonna talk about the unexplained. Files
Did you want to finish on it? Okay, so let's recap the first hour as we normally do. So for those of you who are tuning in who may have missed the first hour, you can always check it out again on a replay. But we discussed the show, the series on Netflix, Unlocked, and how it relates to our communities in the world today, which led into some other topics of accountability and, of course, Drake. And I found out that Maya Angelou today. I found out Maya Angelou had 2 husbands. Yes, I need to touch up on my history. So this hour, we are going to talk about the unexplained. Everybody on the unexplained seems to be from England. And then I guess we can talk about some conspiracy theories because where are my notes? You wanna where you want me to start it off or you start it off?
Yeah, you start it off.
Because I took notes.
All right.
I gotta do it. Okay, so where we left off, I believe it was episode 5. Was it 6? One of them.
Was giving it about 5.
No, that wasn't it. Okay, it was this one here. The government
4.
UFO. The 5 Mysteries of Mount Shasta. I kind of like this episode. This one was like the Indian Reserve Mountains, and it had the land where it was a lot of like Native American culture on this land. Yeah. So the mountains are, and I actually did research this a little bit because I was curious about the mountains. So it is actually reserved spiritual land. However, the conspiracy of the Talosi people. Wait a minute, no, where they at? Lemurians. So they're saying that it's another community of people that live within them. See them. You can only see them through meditation. You can only be invited in through meditation or a certain like a deep spirituality. So what interested me about this was all of the people seem really, really weird who were talking about this, which we've had this conversation before, and it made me think about it because we always say a lot of times the people who are made to look the craziest, i.e. like your what's the lady name?
Cool.
What's her name? What is her name?
The lady.
The singer. They kept saying she had schizophrenia. Jaguar.
Oh, Jaguar. Oh yeah. Jaguar, right?
So, so like how they were saying, they're like she crazy, whatever. So the same thing here. Now, the black lady to me was the most believable, and let me explain why. Now, all of their stories symbolically were similar, right?
Yep.
Of the myth of how of what they saw in the door, but how descriptive she was and how her tone, her body language was just more believable for me. And it wasn't, she didn't seem like overly animated or fabricated or anything like that. So
yeah, she seemed more believable to me too, but she just seemed more genuine. Like, this is the deal. This is what's up. Yeah, I agree.
But the grounds of the place, and this was I'm trying to think where. So pretty much what they were saying was the grounds, they believe that nature pretty much conquers all, but nature and humans are kind of, they live codependently, which is a thing, right?
Yeah.
So they don't try to control nature. So they pretty much were saying things like, nature can never be explained. So they went into, did you see the part when they went into the ventricular clouds that they have
Yeah.
that only surround the mountain? So they kind of come and
Yep.
then they go, come and then they go, come and then they
Yep.
go. So how they describe the people in the mountains, no, the old lady, when she was like, I ain't like her because I felt like she was playing on Netflix time when she was
Yeah.
saying she was a spiritual
The
connector
spiritual. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something, where she
Yeah.
take meditation, and she said, and the one lady came out crying, and she said to
Yeah.
me, "I've never felt love like that before," and I was
Yeah.
like, "What,
Yeah. That's like Abby in the
lady?"
other episode.
Yeah, and I was like, "Ain't nobody tell you nothing like that."
You I
So,
tell her
because
like
pretty
that.
much yeah, but
Yeah.
then they were saying,
Nah, this is Files of the Unexplained. J Bear.
so
We're gonna
so
get you there, J. We're gonna get you there.
so the more so okay, so in this one particular part of the world, there are only 3,600 people that live in this community. However, they do have tourists of tens of thousands of people that come to this land because of its nature qualities and to visit the mountains, because they saying it's the most peaceful, um
So
hey,
Richie.
ritual spiritual place that you can like visit on earth.
Yeah.
I've when when they show the videos, I've seen people talk about it, but
Uh-huh.
some of it is like, and then no.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the spiritual piece and spiritual connection, I think that's where the girl sold me, because um, spiritual. I ain't gonna get into that conversation, but spirituality is that deepness within your face, that deepness, like, within. And I know a lot of religious people don't really like
Spirit.
that word,
Yeah. They
but
don't.
it does exist.
Yeah.
And it is not negative. It's actually, it's a thing, it's a connection with a higher power, which is God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just spirituality from within. So that's, to me, what the mountains are symbolic of, where they're saying that the spirits of the Native American spirits go to
Mm-hmm.
reside and live within. So they
Mm-hmm.
pretty much guard that. And if anyone tries to infiltrate that, certain
Yeah.
things happen, which I didn't understand, because you had people that were going in the mountains that they call demonic spirits or whatever, that
Yeah.
would make a mockery of it. And they had like graffiti on the mountains, in the
Yeah.
caves of the mountains. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Um
Oh, I didn't understand that part. Can you break that down for me?
the best way I could put it is, we got a place here called Helen's Castle. It's called the Zealander Castle. Helen's
Okay.
Bridge. Look it up. I guess it's like that because if you go to it, it's like maybe 10 minutes from here, from my house. No, about 10 minutes, 15 at the most. Um, During the daytime, you see the graffiti and stuff like that. And but at night things are totally different. There's people who've been there I've been up there a couple of times, who the car won't start. If you bring your car up, they won't start. People have heard her speaking, because see, the story about her is, I think her daughter died and she hung herself from the bridge. Yeah, let's look up Helen's Bridge here in Ashford. Let's look it up. And I think it's like that like the graffiti up there, you could tell people wrote the graffiti as a message or something. And it might be the same thing. I don't know.
Well, the guy who was a native of the of the place. He was saying that they pretty much made a mockery of it, and it's something that they just started to see, and it's kind of like they try to make a mockery of, I guess, what they believe and those certain things. So I think they're trying to put more things in place where it's protected.
Yeah.
Because of who it was, but it's mainly populated by indigenous people.
Yeah.
Because you want to add anything? Because I want to get into this album.
You see, we get into what?
The other one.
No, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, get into the other one. Yeah.
Next episode, the bizarre blobs of Washington State. You want to talk? You want to?
No. Go ahead.
I gotta do everything. All right.
No, you doing good.
This because I took notes. Because I forget my vitamin D low.
Yeah. See, I forget. That's why when I hear you say it, then it rings a bell up here.
Okay, so the next one was about the state of Washington State back in, I want to say this, but I think it happened like the 70s or 60s, something like that. They had this rainfall, but what appeared to be rainfall, but the rain was gel, and it looked like they said it looked like hail. And one lady, the first lady that they had, she was she was working for the Jesus Christ, I didn't write that down. She worked for one of the health departments.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought I wrote it down. Anyway, she worked for one of those major governing agencies. I say that where she was. So she was intrigued to know why was this like that, because when it was on the windowsill, and she was like, it was just like sliding. It wasn't like water. So she didn't touch it. She put it, I guess she gathered some pieces because, she was in that industry. That was her career. So she kind of knew what to do. Nobody really wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to do all of this stuff. So she played around with it. She tried to put it in some water to see if it would dissolve. It did not dissolve. It floated in the water. So she tried to burn it. It did not burn. She tried to what else did she try to do? It didn't burn. It just floated in the water, so it just wouldn't move. So they kept going on. So more people started to complain about the blog. So it's actually several news articles about this from back then. So it's actually a real story. Yeah. So come find out, she went to an ecologist, and she went to another like scientist. So she took them some samples, and come find out within the blob, when they put it under a microscope, there were like human cells, like white blood cells within the organism. So then they thinking maybe it was something from like a meteor shower or something like that. And then they started to think, well, maybe it was what is it? Fetus from an air, not fetus, not fetus, that's not us. Feces from the airplane and all of that stuff, but it wasn't blue, it was clear. So that wiped it out. So then the going story was, what they tried to put in the newspapers was that it was jellyfish that came, I guess, from whatever. So like, well, how did the jellyfish get in the sky? So her dog got sick. Come to find out, because the dog came in contact with the water. Then her mom got sick and was in the hospital for 4 days, but she was the only one that actually touched it. So anybody that touched it, so the whole community started getting sick. Come find out, they was thinking that it was like a military air base that was close by that would do that would drop missiles into the ocean. So they were thinking it was from that. Come find out, they said it was like an anthrax or some type of what is it called? Sea spray operation. That was the term that was used. I'm just trying to figure out.
That's why it's called the Files from the Unexplained. Yeah.
Yeah, the clear jelly stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That one. So I'm just trying to figure out, Where they get jellyfish from?
That's what I want to know.
Did you hear the
how the hell
explanation they
jellyfish? Huh? You said
Did you
what?
hear the explanation they gave for how the jellyfish got in the air? So this was the explanation they gave for how the jellyfish got in the air. So the jellyfish,
Please tell.
so when the missiles dropped in the ocean, they said "Psh, psh," the jellyfish went up in the air,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden sprinkled all around.
that didn't make no sense.
But why was
That
it
didn't
only
make.
limited to this state?
That's what I'm saying. That didn't make no sense. When I heard it, I was like, "Them things ain't fly up that high," and then just y'all could have done better
Now
than
I
that.
believe the anthrax, because that was the period when
Mm-hmm.
anthrax became a major thing, and there was we
Yeah.
were remember it was like biological warfare.
Yeah,
Now that theory, I definitely believe because it was
yeah,
around the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, they dumped that shit on them
Yeah,
people,
they
and then they
dumped it.
tried to
Yeah,
say
they
maybe
dumped
at first they was like, well, we thought maybe an airplane had an accident, and maybe no, they
it.
don't,
Nah,
because the
no,
airplane people dumped that at the airport.
they dumped that. Yeah, yeah. They were full of it.
Then they said it was military testing being done there because they had so many what is it called, military bases. I know you can't get into
Yeah,
all that.
Fort Lewis. I
Huh?
was there. I was at Fort. I was there at Fort Lewis in Washington. Yeah, Fort Lewis.
Can you talk about what you saw? Never mind, because we want to live. You want to go to the next episode?
Yeah, let's go to the next
Or
one.
you want to elaborate? Girl, them people,
I,
see, G was right. She said it was a test to see the side effects. I think her
yeah,
mother, what did she say? Her mom was having like, she was in distress. She was having respiratory issues, cardiac issues. Um,
I ain't gonna
that was
lie.
the other thing. The
I tend to
community
believe
thought
what
that they
you
were
said.
aliens. Yeah. So she
Yeah,
said it was
I believe
probably
what she said.
alien.
Mm-hmm.
When they came, when the people thought that, when they found out it was human cells, because they were thinking, well, if it's coming from the sky, because when they said meteor, I said, okay, we can, because we don't know what's inside of a
Yeah,
meteor for real. It, we're thinking,
right.
well, if it's coming from the sky, could be, because when they said meteor, I said, okay, possible.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we're gonna see. But I was like, it
You know
just
what?
wasn't making.
It might have been
It
like
just sounded like
it,
they were still trying to cover conspiracy with another conspiracy.
it might have been aliens. They might have vaporized somebody, and that's their body falling to the earth, man. They might have did some tests on them up in the spaceship or something. Like, we done with this nigga. Dropped them out the sky, little pieces.
Yep. The only cell that they said was inside was like white blood cells. So
They
how do
vaporized
you
somebody
take
and dropped
white
his
blood
ass
cells?
out. They vaporized somebody. They probably grabbed somebody,
Or a couple of
took him
people?
up there. Huh? They probably grabbed
Or a
somebody,
couple
took
of
him up
people?
there. Yeah. They do some tests on him. They probably got somebody who went up there trying to be combative. Like, oh, he want to fight. Okay. We're done with this guy. Zap! Throw him out the spaceship.
Okay. So let's go over this last one, and then we're gonna get into some other theories that I had. Last one was about the feet, and y'all know I cannot stand feet, right? I hate feet. So this episode for me was very much cringe. It's called The Floating Feet of the Salish Sea. So again, we're in Washington State. Why is everything creepy happening in Washington State? I don't know. But that is not on my bucket list of nowhere I want to go to when they got jelly rain and floating feet in the sea. So why every time I come up here, it's work.
What?
So I'm sorry. So the floating feet came. So It was a couple by the water. It's always a couple by the water. So she was like, first we saw a shoe, and then we saw another foot. So it was the shoe come up, and then the feet come up. So it started with a foot here, a foot there, over a span of like a week. It was like 7 feet. Then over the course of less than a year, over 49 feet had washed ashore.
That's crazy.
So I can't even say it without laughing. Can't believe I'm really saying this. So this is the stuff they put out there. So it was over 14 human feet. I hate my feet tonight because my hey Wendy. She said I got a theory. Did he do it? Oh, we're gonna get into that next. So yeah, it was 49 feet found. They were just finding feet, no other body parts, no nothing. So it was 49 feet.
That was crazy, man.
Let's go through the theories that they wanted us to believe. The first one, we get to the man in the cabin. So the man in the cabin says, what I saw the foot come up on the ocean on the seashore. I went to the seashore, then I saw an eyeball. When I saw the eyeball on the top of a head, it looked like a big head, a head I've never seen before. So it looked like an old sea creature.
Yeah.
I swear.
That right there had me dying. I was like, wait a minute. I had to rewind it back. I was like,
he was like, it was something like you never seen before. I was sitting there, and then when I looked at it, it came up, and then it came down, and the next day, there goes the feet.
It was hard to get through that part. It was hard to get through that part. I was looking at that dude. I'm like, man, look here. When he
so Wendy, remember like, the old fantasy books, or remember like in old folk tales, sea creatures were prehistoric animals that lived under the water, who were like dragons of the water. And they were huge. So what the theory that they want to put, what he was portraying was the sea creature was eating the people, and just leaving the fate. When I tell you, I promise y'all, that's exactly how he talked.
That's how he said it.
And then they started showing all of these images of what people were saying sea creatures look like. Then they went back to 1937 when there was this gigantic whale that ate a sea that was pulled from the belly of the base, was a sea creature. And that's why we got so many fate in the sea.
But you know what? When he was telling that story, I was saying to myself, so basically, when the sea creature came at them, they were swimming towards the sea creature, and the sea creature coming towards them, and he just ate everything and chomp off from the. I was like, wait a minute,
this like you ain't eat the whole person. So he was that. So sea creatures don't like feet neither.
Yeah, clearly, they just stop right at the feet,
and they just kept down to the finding feet. Right, mind you, 49 feet.
49 feet. Missing a foot there.
So y'all know I'm goofy, right? So when the guy came on to tell the story, I was totally invested. As soon as he was like, well, look here, when you look over there, right here, I was sitting right here.
I had just finished eating a brownie when I was watching it. I was eating a brownie watching it. I was high, and I'm like, I was high. I was like, listen to this dude. And I rewound it back to where he first started. I said, let me hear it. Hold up. Because he ain't making no sense. I think I watched that part 3 times. It was...
He was like, he said, I was sitting right here, and then you look right over there, right over by the little the thing, and then you see it came up like an eyeball, and then you see a big head creature. It was one of the sea creatures, and it came up, and it passed back down into the sea. I was like,
boy, He had me dying. I'm sitting in the house and crying like, nah, man. Nah.
So then they go to the local authorities of the community. And then they come on and say, well, days later, after several investigations and several feet coming up in the ocean, what we discovered is we had to entertain the thought of there may be a serial killer on the loose. Next thing, they're walking out a white guy in handcuffs, and he's upset because he couldn't make it to 50. He was like, he was more upset that he couldn't get the round number of 50, and he only got the 49. I was like, what?
That's why they saved that episode.
But what was the round number? That it sent me so
the 50.
bad.
The 50.
I know that, but when this is how she said it. She was,
I told her what he said. Oh, yeah,
news lady. She was like, yeah, they have arrested. I forgot what his name was. And he was like, so we have a serial killer. So his house is on the river. The river washes into the sea. And he was so upset when they arrested him because he couldn't get to the round number of 50 and he only got to the 49. But what's more interesting is a year later, after they arrested the serial killer, more feet were found in the sea. What? Well,
that was crazy.
So that man still locked up.
That was
and feet still popping up.
He didn't do that. That man ain't do that. Something out there, just eating people, leaving the feet out, just spitting the feet out. Like, still got some shoes on. I don't want that.
I'm telling you, just skip all that. Fast forward this to episode 8. You can get a bang out of life.
Oh, you're gonna be like that. That's why they saved it for the last one.
I seen it with my own 2 eyes. It was right there.
Those damn feet, man. That's crazy, man. Because you got to wonder, like, why is it only feet popping up? It's Files of the Unexplained, Jude. It's on Netflix. Watch them all. Don't forget to watch them.
No, but you know the one guy from the one episode of the spiritual, was it the spiritual one? One of them episodes. Somebody said it best. No, when they were talking about the clouds, that's what it was. They were talking about the clouds. So the guy said, I mean, I'm trying to figure out why would an alien hide in the cloud that looks just like what we're going to be looking for. So somebody said it best. If you put something unbelievable in your face, what's the first thing you're going to do? Not believe it. So we got all these crazy people in our face telling us if you look right there, you're going to see the sea creature and it's going to come up and go crashing down. And we do know that only 20% of the ocean has been explored. So we don't know what's in the other part. So there may be a sea creature out there somewhere.
It's serious, man, because when you think about it, that's like 1/5 of the ocean has been explored. So you don't know what's in the other parts. And the further you go down, as you remember, in some parts you can't go so far down without exploring. You see what happened to them dudes in the tuna sub. What's that sub? The Ocean Gate.
Have you ever watched the documentaries where they send little drone things down in certain parts of the depth of the ocean, and you ever hear the sounds? Do you think that those are real?
It's got to be something.
I'm asking because a lot of the sounds, it don't sound like fish. It sounds. I wouldn't be surprised if there's under a sea community,
because it don't sound like fish.
Like little mermaids. There may be some sea
sign out.
Out there.
Jude need to sign out. Sign out. Well, who knows? I mean, it's crazy because the sounds you hear down there, you're like,
Wendy, those are not really hurt. She's still talking about.
So got spit out.
Wendy, I hope you soak your feet full in some X and some lavender.
Because they hurt like mine.
Trying to tell you, but your feet will love you.
Yeah, it's something down there. Maybe they haven't explored only 20% of the ocean.
That's me.
Huh? Oh, maybe they haven't explored more than 20% of the ocean because Maybe they might have seen something down there and said, look, we're not going to do anymore. You know? Because a lot of ships have sunk in different places they can never find. You know, so who knows? Who knows what's down in that water? Who knows?
My bad.
Huh?
Am I bad because I was frozen like a mug?
Nah, you was on.
My bad because I was just silent frozen. I was frozen.
Nah, you might have been frozen. You might have been frozen on your.
I'm like a sea creature.
Nah, you might have been frozen on your end. You weren't frozen over here. I thought you 12 signs went in a hole.
12 scientists went in a hole in the Arctic.
Came back.
And only 2 came back. I think I watched that over in the yeah, they said the same thing about certain parts of Alaska. That's why it's forbidden.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
yep.
Wendy. That's another one.
Have you ever seen like the statue that's underground?
Yes, a bunch of them. Is that you what? Is that you what? Anyway. What you doing, man? What you doing? Anyway. What are you talking about? Yo. What you mean?
I think that's me.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? It's you.
Me? I'm freezing.
Nah.
You see me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I was froze, though.
Fine.
I knew it was because I got the little oop.
It might have been y'all over there. Yeah, I know, Wendy. I would like to see what that ship is too, for real. And Juicy, that's Atlantis. Yeah. What's up, Doug?
Hi, Gorilla Fitness.
Gorilla. Oh, that's what's in the Gorilla Fitness. Seemed like they was here before. But yeah, there's something down there. Who knows Atlantis? Who knows? I mean, I'm not going
under
down
the sea.
there.
Oh no, I was talking about. Remember? So, do you recall? Which is some. Oh, I know who that is.
You said what?
Remember when they used to show like the documentaries on like Discovery Channel when they had like the underwater statues and all of those things?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think how to say it. Remember the Great Flood?
Mm-hmm.
So, and they always say there are I forgot what they called them, below sea communities or something. Mm-hmm. And they still look solid, like nothing's wrong with them. So I'm like,
who is forever?
Yeah. How do you think that's really the thing?
It's something, man, because that's a lot of statues down there. There's a lot of them.
But they want us to believe that the people went down in the ocean and built these things.
I don't know. That might have been an underwater community that just sunk. Cause it's like, God, it's a lot of them down there. And when you actually see how vast it is, I mean, it's like a whole what do you call it?
Remember last week? See, Drew, you got to watch this show called You got to watch this show called The Three Body Parts. Remember I told you when they had the little atoms, and I said they were like the people, they made themselves look like us. They said we live in a what's the word?
You mean living in what, fishbowl or something?
Not an illusion. What's another word for illusion? It's along the lines of what Jude is saying. Where pretty much they saying that we see what they want us to see.
Oh yeah, that's like zoo theory, man.
And I was like, what? And in my mind, I'm like, where did this show come from? Remember I told you with the show with the helmets, and then they act like it was a game. And so they pretty much towards the end, they had like it was like this big cube that separated into 4 cubes. So it was small, but then it covered the whole sky. So pretty much she was like, we control you. You do what you see, what we want you to see, and everything that you do reports back to us before you do it, so we know your every move.
Yeah.
I said, that's crazy. I forgot. No, what's the word I'm looking for, though? It's the word that I'm looking for. Not the Matrix. Paul said they can find everything except people from the Bible. Where Paul said, where they at?
Yeah.
Paul, they at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. With the Clotilda.
Damn, what is it called? I can't think of. It's called a What did we say it was called when we were talking about Tyrone? When we were talking about who cloned Tyrone? When we live in a
Oh shoot!
It's another word for illusion.
Alternative universe.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of people on here said it before. Like, what if we? And it was weird when that particular scene happened because so many people have talked about it and so many things have kind of alluded to that.
Yeah.
Of maybe like, what if there's an outside looking in, you know what I mean? Looking in on us, because one of the things they said was like, you have so many different dimensions. Did you just see the, it was on CNN.
Hold up. Hold that thought. Wendy just made a point about that lake in Georgia that people die every time they try to swim or go to that body of water. It's
I'm doing a show.
Yeah, it was What you were saying?
What is it called? Oh, what was I talking about? Oh, it was on CNN when they were talking about they found was it the Milky Way? A big black hole.
Yeah.
The new one. And I guess we getting closer to it. And I was like, that's crazy, because I was just watching something talking about dimensions, and that's what they describe. And that's how they go through different dimensions, and there's so many different worlds. So the people were traveling through worlds that even though they didn't have the technology, they were communicating with other civilizations that had amazing technology. They just didn't want us to get it before they did. So because of how we were progressing, they had to stop the human race. That's why they wanted to take over. And they did it through explain how they control certain things of what we see, what we do. So pretty much, the girl was like, well, you look just like us. She was like, you see what I want you to see. But if I showed you what we really look like, this is for your safety, not mine, or something like that, she said.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Lake Lanier, Lake Lanier in Georgia.
Yeah, Lake Lanier. Yeah, that's it. Lake Lanier. As for Paul had mentioned the Garden of Eden is actually in Iraq. That's where it's located. Iraq or Iran, one of them. I can't remember which one. I think it's Iraq. That's what.
Okay, so I was watching something. Speaking of Iraq, I was watching this this news report. It wasn't American news, like it was really news, and they were talking about we're on the brink of like a World War III. You know, we talked about that before. So
Yeah.
because everything is bombing, and they were saying how people are preparing, and this is and the third. And I know we talk about. I know up here I said, should we be preparing ourselves for the worst? Like, we all know they're going to hit our technology because everything we do, we rely on everything technical to control our lives. So we would be pretty much asked out with communication if that was to happen. So do you think we should prepare for the worst?
I think I think we should always be prepared regardless because we can't even trust our own government. So, and the way I look at it, I mean, it depends on, like I said, I think the war won't be so much physical. I think it will be mainly technology, but who knows? Who knows? I just know if they start firing missiles, there's nothing that's going to prepare us. Because, and even if you do survive a missile attack, especially if it's chemical weapons, when you come out of your hole in the ground, there's nothing going to be left. It'll be nuclear fallout, that radiation to kill everybody coming up out the ground.
And
So,
remember, everybody said China economy was crashing.
yeah.
Their economy is more stable than it has ever been,
Yeah.
according to
Yeah.
the latest in world news. Their economy is pretty much solid, and we're in shambles. So living on the coast of the water after the bomb is going to kill us all. Yeah.
He said living on the coast. Yep.
I
But
mean,
I
they
was going to move
already,
to the coast anyway. So,
yeah, plus they already took out the bridge. So,
yep.
what are your
But
thoughts on the bridge? It came crashing down, didn't it?
I still think somebody did something to that. I don't think that was accidental. I mean, last year, I don't know, like something like 200 bridges fell, something like that. But I think with this, um, I just think it was planned. I just think it was planned. I mean, that's just my opinion. I just think it was planned.
Because you don't hear much about it
Yeah, I know it
anymore.
got quiet. It got quiet. Okay, here it is. Between the average is 120 bridges a year fall. You from 87 to 222. That's crazy.
And that was one of the major ports, one of
Yeah,
the major ports of goods and everything. And bad enough, everything was already, prices were already soaring for
yeah.
cost of goods in this country alone. So now it went up even more. So soon as that went down, you notice everything went up even because that's your
Hmm.
trading system. Everything comes
Um.
through the port.
So, how many people did they finally find that died on that bridge?
Mhm.
Oh, they ain't said nothing about it.
You know, I heard about one other one. I ain't hear about no other bodies. They ain't talk about them people no more. I ain't hear no more condolences.
Dang.
We still ain't never find out about them ships from last year that was stuck in the middle of the ocean. Remember when they was up in the thing?
Oh yeah,
As far as
yeah,
we know, they still sitting out there with no gas.
yeah. Yeah. Whatever happened to
What
that?
happened to them?
Hmm. Good question.
Oh yeah, because wasn't that was a ship from no, the ship that crashed the Key Harbor, wasn't that a ship from China or somewhere? Or Japan or something?
Something like that. Judy said they found a truck. Was anybody in it? I mean, I know it's a dumb question, but
they found a truck.
that's what she just said.
I thought they said why no. Remember they said why no cars.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what
Why the
they
little
said.
Mexicans that was on the bridge though? They ain't find them.
So was they doing like repairs on the bridge or something?
Hmm.
They just said
Allegedly.
they found another body.
Y'all see how Biden tipped up on that stage, said we gonna pay for it, and tipped right off.
Hey.
In circles.
The way he walked off the stage, man.
You remember it was 3 ships in the ocean that was supposed to be importing goods to America. Yeah. And then when they was shooting them missiles, and they said they ran out of gas.
Yep.
In the middle of the ocean. That's why we ain't had nothing. We ain't never heard of them people still stuck out there in mid-Atlantic or not in the Pacific.
Nothing. Ain't heard nothing. I ain't heard nothing.
Oh, it was a construction truck?
Like I said, I don't trust our government. Not at all.
The sea creatures probably grab them. We don't know if their feet come floating up on the shore.
the no-foot monster. We've been prepared for another major shortage of goods, maybe worse than COVID. Wouldn't surprise me, Wendy, for real. It wouldn't surprise me. It seems like
they definitely got something up their sleeve they get ready to hit us with the try to cripple the continent.
It seems like over the past, I don't know, maybe past 4 to 8 years, it's always been something. Every year or every other year, some type of madness going on. You know, we had COVID.
Yeah, COVID went away real quick, didn't it?
Huh?
They don't even talk about COVID no more.
Nah, then they talk about the new strain and this and that. And the thing about it all, and I'm far from a conspiracy theorist. But I listen to them when they say stuff like, and this is why some of our black people need to start listening to people that you don't like. I listen to them say, okay, it's a new strain coming. It makes me sound like, well, how do y'all know that? Y'all making some shit in the lab? Like, yeah, we got a new one coming out. You know, like, there's a new strain a little stronger than the last one. You're like, well, how'd y'all figure this out? Y'all know somebody that has it?
Said they make it.
Huh?
Bill Gates already told us they make the viruses.
Yeah, they make. That's what I'm saying.
So he said he knows before they get ready to come out. That's why he bought up all the farms. You see, Rick Ross went and got him a farm. He wasn't that dumb. Say what you want to say about Rick Ross. Rick Ross knew, and people remember we did a show when he talked about, and he was trying to, and he did a PSA announcement that our communities need to invest in farmland, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was like, nigga buy cows and chickens, and they were joking him about it. That was the best investment that he could have made. Was buying that farmland, because Bill Gates and all of them was going around. They was buying that farmland because they knew that this was coming. And now look, you see the chicken that they had on the thing. It was one I watched. The lady literally had the chicken and was doing like this. It was raw.
Yeah.
And it was like it was shredding like paper because it was processed. So if you own stuff, you gonna be up shit's creek. So I gotta learn how to get a green thumb.
That's why I grow my vegetables when it start getting warm. Yep. And I hold my seeds. Whitney said, maybe also related to what's going on with Israel and Iran. I mean, Israel, Iran, and Russia, and the bridge all happening at the same time.
Russia in a good spot. I think Russia just got who got the rights to Alaska right now? That because they were right close. I think it was Russia. I think they got, because remember they were bailing over that, and I think they got it. Russia is in a great position. We tried to stop them, and I think years ago Trump did a speech. Trump has a motto of keep your enemies, your friends close, but your enemies closer. We all didn't understand why he kept that relationship good with Putin. This is why. Putin is in a good relationship. He has became allies with all the countries that are rich in goods and soil that's needed to grow. We don't understand how important that is because nothing really grows here because we fuck our shit up because we want to build and do all of this stuff and we greedy. But what he did was partner with everybody. So them sanctions meant nothing to them because they sanction us right back, but they just not talking about it. But when you watch the world news, Asian news, all of them different news outlets,
everybody else's news, watch everybody else's news. You'll find out a whole lot.
Our dollar really don't mean shit to them for real.
It don't.
They don't even want our money. They don't even want us. And it's still the list is growing now of countries they don't want us to visit because they don't want us there.
Like here in Asheville, we have so much land here, but they building hotels and all this other nonsense here, to where traffic is so heavy here, and Asheville is small, and it's so many places around here that they can build farmland and put people to work. They don't. Our city council ain't worth shit.
He said, I'm curious, how do you trust people that keep stuff hidden beneath
the Vatican?
Say that word because I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna fuck it up.
The Vatican.
Vatican, yet the Bible is in existence. What they got to have? Well, truthfully, you know, the original Bibles is over there with Putin. He get
I don't trust none of them.
He got the key. But
I don't trust none of them, man. That's why. And Paul,
I'm not gonna say I don't believe in it. It's been rewritten. Let's just keep it 100. We do know we evolved from something to someone. There is a greater power. I'm never going to take that away from anything. That I just don't like when the Bible is taken for people to use for their own personal motive and not what its purpose is, because that's another show. But the thing about it is the Bible is also like a tool of life. And yes, people take a look. That's like in any book, anything that you believe in. That's why I say when religion to me now is not what it was when I was younger. It's different. And it was like when I was younger, it was more towards your spirit, your spirituality. That's why they're like, oh, you catch the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. It's the spirit. We got away from that, from the internal piece of fulfillment when it comes to what the word of God embodies. And that's all of us. It's not, one person is better than the other. No religion is better than the other or anything like that. So when we talk about spiritual realms and spiritual beings, to me, that's more powerful than anything that's organized. You can't label your faith or, what that is. That's just my take on that.
Mine too, because and see, this is why I walk away from religion as it is, because I feel we all have a certain walk we have to make. And I've learned through my lifetime that the people that say the most vile stuff, the most hateful stuff, are the ones who call themselves Christians or whatever they want to be. The most hateful people are the ones who talk about you need to find God and all this other stuff. And that turned me off. I like
the judge.
First ones, and harshly too.
Yes,
harshly, and it goes back to the LGBTQ thing. I had my views on it. However, people in the Bible, they always like to say how homosexuality is a abomination. Do I agree with it? No, but you live your life the way you want to live your life. You're still my homie. I don't care who you sleep with. But if you listen to people in the Bible, they act like homosexuality is the only abomination in the Bible, which it's not. It's 25 other abominations, but they only pull that one thing out to fit their feeling. So I have my views, but I'm not gonna throw a rock at somebody because they're gay, I mean, you do your
But
thing.
who are we to judge? How do we know that? Because
That's what I'm
it was
saying.
rewritten so many times. And
Right,
if
exactly.
you really look at ancient biblical times, they fornicated with each other and everybody else. So it's the same thing um with weaves and what some people look at
Mm-hmm.
our culture and why do we do certain things to our head. That was before anything was going on. Gods and we did that. So why is it frowned upon now? And like you said, history repeats itself. And I think a lot of us are not in touch with who we are, what
Mm-hmm.
history really is, and what we really embody and harness within ourselves. Like it's just crazy to me. Like, mm-mm.
Right, right, right.
And
That's yeah.
but they got to deal with that. I'm not the person to judge nobody for what life they live. When I gotta live with my
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta deal with my own sins when I get there, because I already know when I get there, he gonna be like, hold up.
Yeah, yeah. That's
We
what I mean.
got,
Like with me,
I'm like, well,
like
what
me.
had happened was,
It see me like me. I may not be down with something, but that doesn't mean I hate somebody. Like if someone's gay, I'm not gay, but I don't
right.
hate the person because they're gay. That shit. You do your thing.
I mean, it's
I ain't
clear.
mad at you.
Thou shalt
You
not
know.
judge. You can't
Yeah.
say that, and then like when people be like, I ain't judging or nothing, but we gonna keep going until you're judging though. You judging like a mug.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't care who you sleep
I
with.
can't judge nobody for their walk of life because let's keep it a
Mm.
buck. We all sin.
Yeah.
Ain't
Every day,
nobody
all day.
perfect, but we quick to point out other people
Every day, all
flaws or
day.
shortcomings or whatever. Clear your backyard and your front yard and all that stuff before you go over there. Let them people deal with that when their time comes because they got to answer for that. We are not put here to judge anybody. So we really into this book, like we say we into the book. Live righteously and know you can't judge the next person.
You know what? And even though I don't follow Islam anymore, I always tell people Islam pulled me away from Christianity and it made me a better person. Because when I converted over to Islam so many years ago, I changed my whole mentality. I wasn't judging people. I didn't. I was a totally different person to where when I was a Christian, I was arrogant, judgmental, and all that stuff.
I'm sorry. Get
I still
her.
got my
I know
opinion.
she does smoke. She said they was big on
They was
sex
big on
parties going
sex
wrong.
parties.
Girl, that was why Diddy was that's girl.
Oh, Rome,
Diddy
they was
descendant.
getting it in. the Romans was the Romans.
They was getting it in.
They were doing each other, men and the women, mainly the men.
Yeah. Did he do it? Yes, he did.
Oh, they
Yes,
did
he
it back
did.
then. It's a whole book in the Bible about them dudes.
Okay. I can respect that. Lindy said you should
You
not
should
judge
not
with
judge.
correction, but love can make a difference.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm curious to have a conversation. The see yet the I next week, Wendy. I want you to come on and dive
Yeah,
into that for me.
even for 30 minutes, just
Um,
come on the show.
because I'm curious about because
Bye, goodbye, Jude. Good night, Jude.
no, because
Good night,
I
Jude.
see where I mean I get where you're going, but
Yeah.
but for me judging is judging, and I think it depends on are you referring to um not judging. I wouldn't call it judging. What's the word I'm looking for?
Judging.
Um, because this is just my mind. There's no way to
Mhm.
cope. Judging is just judging.
Mhm.
For me, I
Yeah.
don't know. So I'm just curious. I would like to hear your input in that. Oh, correction. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think it's the concept because
Hmm.
when I think of judging, let me try to think of an example. I'm sorry, Rich, give me 5 minutes. I think of someone when people say they're judging, frowned upon, looking down upon, or thinking you're here, so you're going to judge me because I'm not where you are because you think you're above me. So for me, that's judging, or because it's something that's not for you, or that's not in agreement with you to your beliefs, your morals, your values, which we're all different because we live in a diverse world.
Yeah.
So then it comes into what is your moral belief and value is, because we can have similar beliefs and values, but also their differences. Whereas though you can stand strong in yours, it may not be in agreement. That don't mean that it's wrong though. It's just not my place to judge you for whatever your belief or value is. I think that's my standpoint. But we gotta talk about this next week. Can she come? Call her, tell her come on in next week.
She said she will. Yeah.
So I would like to have that conversation.
All right. Well, y'all, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks you, Jude, for your comments.
Jude is lit tonight.
Peace to you too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Each person believes in most. Next week we're gonna talk about it actually, Wendy, this conversation will be great for next week because we're gonna be talking about communication and relationships.
Nigga still talk about the Ravens. That's your boy. Hey, we gotta close the show, y'all. Y'all come back next week. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Casual Convo Show. Check us out every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, X, everywhere. Just Google us. We're there. Thank you to Jude, J Bear, Wendy, of course, Fallon, who checked in early, Lamont, King Paul, Douglas, Jay, Mel, and if I forgot
Gorilla Fitness.
Oh, yeah, Gorilla Fitness. Forgot about Gorilla Fitness. Check me out from 6 to 8 p.m. on handradio.org. I'm spinning it all, mixing it all for you, non-stop, commercial-free 2 hours. Check it out live. For Richard behind the boards, I'm the co-host Bosco. For Coco, who is always in the building, she's the host. We are the Casual Convo Show. We will see you next week, 8 p.m. We're out, y'all. Peace.
See y'all.